Email is like one of the oldest communication channels and it's still super successful. And like one thing I see is that like big brands, like for example, Lululemon, who maybe used to email once a week, now they email at least every day. So if email revenue isn't around 40% of your total revenue, you're probably doing something wrong. And yeah, like a big topic that like we discussed, I would love to cover is opting people into a second list. So some people call it duplicating a list. It's not exactly that, but some of the biggest brands even do it. I love giving examples. So let's say you sell a diabetes supplement. You get a buyer, they get added to your newsletter. And you hopefully just mail to them about your brand, try and cross-sell other products you have and stuff like that. What we do, which we're seeing everyone do now, even big brands, is we opt people into a second list. And then you have pretty much double the real estate where you can sell different products to them. In our case, we create a second list that we opt them in and we send different affiliate offers based off that niche. And so we're seeing that like that is growing people's revenue, sometimes double. Like that's my ambitious goal, is to double someone's email marketing.
Today on our VidTao podcast, we have Mr. Kyle Dana. Kyle is a master of email marketing. Basically, he has a really unique tactic that can double or triple your profitability using email marketing, like Kyle's going to tell you in this conversation. So if you're not making 40% or more of your revenue through your email marketing, we're talking about your whole business here, you're doing something wrong. So, and Kyle's going to give you some tactics today that are going to help you get to that 40% or beyond very quickly. So I can't wait to share this conversation with you. Let's please introduce Mr. Kyle Dana. Let's get into the show.
This podcast is brought to you by VidTao.com. VidTao is our free YouTube ad library and spy tool, research tool. It's VidTao.com. At VidTao, we have close to 1 million unlisted YouTube video ads that you can search, find, discover how they're doing on a day-by-day basis, so you can really see what ads your competitors are running, see ads in different markets that you can model to create new winning ads for yourself, and a whole lot more. It's all there inside VidTao.com. Plus, we have a premium edition. So the database is free to access, but then we also have a premium edition where you have full unlimited access to the database. And inside there, we also provide training. So we also run an agency called Inceptly. That's INCEPTLY. Inceptly.com, where we've managed over $150 million on YouTube. It's a video traffic agency, and we've worked with everyone from brands like Descript.com, Huel, to real scrappy direct response info products, supplements, health, beauty, e-commerce, you name it, we've done it, and love sharing what we've learned. Every week we drop new training in there, everything from YouTube ad media buying to running e-commerce creatives on YouTube, to hardcore tracking and attribution tutorials to really level up your data science game for advertising, and everything in between. Right now, as we speak, we're working on a training regarding YouTube Shorts. Hopefully we'll be live by the time you hear this. On and on and on. This is our passion, is video advertising, and we want to share it with you inside of VidTao Premium. And actually right now, for a limited time, you can get access to VidTao Premium for a very special price. So if you go to VidTao.com, sign up for free, check out the database, upgrade to Premium for this very special price, so you get access to all of the database and all the trainings. And also wanted to add that at Inceptly, we do free brainstorm calls with clients like you. So if you ever want to get help or ask questions about your YouTube ads, your video traffic on other platforms, we're available to chat. Just go to inceptly.com/call, CALL, and set up a time to chat. It's free and would love to speak with you. Our team's waiting to speak with you. So without further ado, let's get into the show.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So Kyle, where are you in the world right now?
Yeah, so I'm in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. So currently snowstorm here, like 25 centimeters of snow. So I'm keeping warm inside for sure.
So you're in Montreal, which means you speak more than one language very fluently, I imagine.
More fluently when I drink?
No. I'm saying more than one language fluently. Like us, dumb Americans, a lot of us only speak one language, like myself.
Yeah, I know I speak French, but like I've luckily like been able to work with mostly US clients my whole life. So don't have to speak French too much, but every now and then you'll go to a coffee shop and they don't want to speak English to you. So got to bust the French out.
Nice, man. That's awesome. That's really cool. This is funny. From Montreal. So same as George St. Pierre, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've actually
Nice.
bumped into him here like a few times going to restaurants and stuff. And yeah, I'm a huge GSP fan. So he definitely put Montreal on the map.
So when you bump into GSP, do you talk in French or English?
Try and speak in French. Hopefully don't embarrass myself too much. I only stopped him once. I stopped him once and I just said like, I was a little bit drunk at the time. I was like, dude, I just have to say like, you're like an idol of mine. And he's like super nice, like super cool, super like genuine guy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so I know you've done everything from, you were telling me earlier, you've been marketing for a long time and
Yeah.
you've done everything from porn to light bulbs. So
Yeah.
walk us through that journey.
Literally porn, light bulbs. I worked for also the biggest sports betting site in North America. I had a consulting agency for accounting solutions for small businesses. So yeah, I sort of jumped around like since university, and then randomly stumbled into the direct response industry. And since then, like I've fallen in love, and I would never go back to any of those other industries which are so like cutthroat and competitive.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Montreal, we're kind of home for the adult entertainment side of things. We
Oh,
have the
really?
biggest companies are located here.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of people that you'll speak to from Montreal, they maybe had a small journey in the porn space before.
Here, that's crazy. Big industry
Yeah,
there. That's
yeah,
hilarious.
huge.
That's hilarious. So, all right. So, we can talk a lot about direct response in general, but I think that something that's still so undervalued in this day and age, 2023 right now, is email. Like every year there's someone saying, hey, this is the year that email dies. I
Yeah,
mean, remember, what was it like ManyChat, SMS marketing, all these things. But email is honestly stronger than ever. It's still
yeah.
pulling lots of big numbers for a lot of different companies. So I'd love it if you could just paint a picture on what you see as the potential of email for, for performance marketing based businesses.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so like email still reigns supreme. For sure, it's harder than ever. Like ISPs like Gmail, Verizon, they make it harder to inbox because they want to protect their users. So it's definitely more and more challenging. You always have to get more creative and stay up to date. But for sure, email is like one of the oldest communication channels and it's still super successful. And like one thing I see is that like big brands, like for example, Lululemon, who maybe used to email once a week, now they email at least every day.
Uh,
So if email revenue isn't around 40% of your total revenue, you're probably doing something wrong. And yeah, like a big topic that like we discussed, I would love to cover is opting people into a second list. So some people call it duplicating a list. It's not exactly that, but some of the biggest brands even do it. And essentially I love giving examples. So let's say you sell a diabetes supplement. You get a buyer, they get added to your newsletter. And you hopefully just mail to them about your brand, try and cross-sell other products you have and stuff like that. What we do, which we're seeing everyone do now, even big brands, is we opt people into a second list. And then you have pretty much double the real estate where you can sell different products to them. In our case, we create a second list that we opt them in and we send different affiliate offers based off that niche. And so we're seeing that like that is growing people's revenue, sometimes double. Like that's my ambitious goal, is to double someone's email marketing. And yeah, it's just free revenue that, is profit in your pocket that I used to sell. Like I'm a tourist. I like nice things. I used to sell people like, hey, you could go on vacation every month and buy a Rolex and all this kind of stuff. And people are like, no, I use that money to pay my entire staff, or I use that extra money because media buying now is harder or competing in the affiliate space is harder. So now I have more lifetime value or like more money that I can use to, pay my top affiliates more or, media buying costs and stuff like that. So yeah, opting people into the second list is definitely something that used to be taboo. And now pretty much everyone's doing it since I guess industry's got more competitive, money's tighter and stuff like that.
so So walk me through that. How do you opt someone into a second list? So you say you get them to sign up to your email list, your newsletter for like a lead magnet or something. So then how do you go about duplicating that list and actually starting to send promotions to them?
Yeah, for sure. So I guess there's two different sides to it. There's like the new buyers that are coming in every day, and then there's the existing list. New buyers is super easy. Like you have to put some certain text on the privacy policy. You could even be more transparent, and there's always an email check mark when you're purchasing a product. Excuse me, and like you can mention there, like, hey, as an added bonus, you're gonna get opted into list ABC, where you're gonna receive other important tips, tricks, health updates, stuff like that. So compliance, that's like all you need to do for new buyers, and then we just get like. So I usually work with clients, and so we'll usually connect via API to get whatever new buyers they have coming in daily. So that's kind of the step to actually acquire the buyers. Then what we'll do is we're going to create a completely separate brand that we're going to mail to them. So for the diabetes example, I might create a really nice diabetes brand and blog that I know will resonate with them. Call it, I don't know, Diabetes News Today. I'll create a super nice blog. Now, as you know, with like AI and stuff like that, like it's super cheap to create a blog, get a bunch of great content, go on Shutterstock to get images. Like it's very cost effective. That's like the second step, which is super important. Third step is the welcome series, and we can get into that, and I can give tons of details, but we create like a separate welcome series for this new brand. And that welcome series is kind of like building the foundation of the house. It's super crucial if you want to have success with this. And then from there, it's basically mailing affiliate offers every day. And again, there's so many details we can get into. But so for new buyers, it's super simple. If you have an existing list, to be honest, a lot of offer owners, they'll just give me the full list, opt-in proof, and they say, hey, like do what you want. But if you want to do it compliant, I would do it two different ways. One way is like you can create a simple offer, like a free ebook or free meal plan, promote that to your existing list. Anyone that puts in their email for that gets added to the new list. Or some type of opt-in form. Like that's like the most compliant way. But other than that, for new buyers, it's honestly like incredibly simple. You use an IPN to collect the buyers in real time, have a small delay so you don't hit them with two welcome emails, because obviously your internal list probably sends a welcome email. And then from there, it's pretty simple. And like agencies or list managers like myself, we kind of do all the work. So like outside of connecting your buyers, you don't have to worry about anything. Like we know how to do this. We have the experience. We have, the history, and we'll just cut you a check every month. So it's kind of like that irresistible offer in my mind of like, you kind of need to do this.
Got it. So basically, you got your existing list that you can really be careful, like what you say to maintain your brand integrity and everything. And then you have this other list that people can obviously unsubscribe if they get tired of getting hit with offers every day, but you are sending offers to them. That's super interesting. So it's like double the bang for your buck, really.
Yeah, exactly. And like, there's a lot of big brands now that actually send affiliate offers to their list. I don't think you should be doing that. So it's also a way to like, people used to be scared of this strategy because they're like, oh, I want to protect my brand. Number one, we don't mention your brand to the second list. And number two, this is actually a strategy where now you can stop sending affiliate offers to your list, because we're going to do that and monetize it separately. So it kind of like has like two like really big benefits in my opinion.
That's huge. So I imagine everything's different for the second list, like different email, different email service provider, sending IPs, everything. So it's
different domain, different email sender, different brand. It could be in the same ESP. I would definitely use different IPs, but pretty much different everything.
Crazy. So and then in terms of then you have this other web property that's associated with the second list that ties that together. So it's like web property plus email list is sort of one thing. And then you're sending, interesting. And then you're sending, like, what kind of emails are you sending to this list?
Yeah, for sure. So like first off, we always create like a brand that's going to resonate. So if it's diabetes, we'll create a diabetes blog. If it's weight loss, we'll create a weight loss blog. The reason I say to build a blog, there's a few reasons. If someone's going to search, like people can see the URL, right, from the sender email. So if they search, it looks like a really nice brand because we create a super nice blog. Number two is then you have all this blog content that you can use in your emails, right? You're not just always going to blast affiliate creatives and affiliate swipes. So you have all this great content. And C, and this is kind of where I started getting creative, is I can even create my own ads on my blog. So if I'm going to push people to my blog, I create almost like my own native ads kind of thing where I push to different affiliate offers. Once you have the blog, I guess we could touch on the welcome series. So we create kind of a similar welcome series, but a little bit different. The goal for the welcome series here is like, I want to build their trust. I want to build their reputation and also make sure that they're not complaining because they're like, hey, you know, what the hell is this brand? So like for the welcome series, essentially what we do is we want to welcome them to this community and congratulate them. And so I'm sure like you've spoken to some different sales experts in our industry where their approach is like, they're a coach, they're calling the new buyers and say, hey, I want to help you in your journey. Congratulations on buying this first product. I want to help you expedite the process, get even better results. So that's kind of the stance that we take. Welcome series is all about giving a ton of value. So we'll give them like a free ebook or a free meal plan that we'll create. We'll give them all these amazing blog articles based off their niche. So again, for the diabetes example, it might be 5 of the best foods to eat if you're diabetic, you know, or like things like that. We'll welcome them to a persona. So like a big pro tip is pretty much for any brand is don't just email from the brand. It's really nice to email from a person at the brand. So if you have an actual person, like for example, for VidTao or Inceptly, you have you.
Yeah.
But for this example, I'll honestly create a persona, usually a female. So it might be Sarah at Diabetes News Today. It's a lot easier to create that relationship, right, with your buyer because the emails feel like it's coming from a person. We set expectations in the welcome series. And so essentially the welcome series is just like jab, 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 right? Give all that value, build that trust, build that reputation. If people unsubscribe, like you said, that's completely cool. While I don't mention like the brand, like the product, right, of why they're getting added to this list, I have a permission reminder at the top of all emails. You're receiving this email because you purchased a diabetes supplement on Digistore or on ClickBank. You know, if you want to stop receiving these health updates, you know, click here to unsubscribe. So that's kind of the welcome series. I don't sell at all. You're going to have another 345 days to sell. And then once the welcome series is done, essentially it's a mix of just blog articles, just to have that good content, just affiliate swipes. So like full email might just be a promotion of, you know, an offer. And then sometimes it'll be a combo of both. And yeah, it's definitely not as easy as like just grabbing an affiliate swipe, plugging it in an email and like hitting send. Yeah. But for the most part, it's like fairly simple in terms of like, you're going to want to find the best affiliate offers that are proven, look at certain metrics, change up the creatives a bit, you know, focus on like what problems your buyers have and how you can alleviate them. And then from there, it's, yeah, pretty much a mix of like blog article content and then, yeah, affiliate swipes.
Well, that's super interesting. Amazing. When did you start coming up with all this stuff? This is really cool.
Yeah, super cool. Yeah. So essentially for 3 years before joining Digistore, I was running one of the bigger list management agencies called Advertise Health. We still work with them today. And although I had a lot of success in other industries and doing other aspects of marketing like SEO, social media, I was new to the industry. I didn't really have like a personal brand or name at the time. And so I was trying to sell managing people's internal lists. And after a while, I was like, damn, there's like these big players like Mike Geary, Ed Scow, Liz Graham, who pretty much manage all people's main lists. So really? I was like, oh, like, you know, how can we offer something different? Oh, well, what if we created a second list that we opted people in to? We did all the work. And so that's kind of how the idea came about. And we were actually, I guess, pretty technologically advanced, where about probably 4 years ago, we created our own AI system where we pulled all the stats from ESPs and affiliate networks in one place. And because of that, we can say that we're only going to send offers that the AI tells us to send based off like past historical data. So it'll look at past offers by revenue by campaign or EPC or RPM. It'll look at creatives, open rate, click rate, and it'll say, send this offer with this creative to this segment at this time, for example. And so yeah, like outside of our experience, we have the AI, which helps us get crazy return per click, per contact, because like the AI knows, right? Like I might be really good at my job, but AI is like a lot better at determining like what to send. So yeah, that's kind of how the strategy came about. It used to be a lot harder to get clients. I didn't have much of a name. Now, as like we joke, I'm traveling all the time. And also B, it's just like everyone's doing it. Like I won't mention some of the big brands, but like all the big brands are doing it. You just don't realize because you don't know what their other sender is, right? So it's kind of like if you're not doing this now, like you're being left behind. If you're not mailing daily, well, your buyers are on someone else's list and they're sending them, right, an offer or a promotion or something. So
Crazy, man.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so you said basically earlier, you said if 40% of your revenue does not come from email, you're doing something wrong, right?
Yeah.
So where do you typically, when you start executing this strategy for people, where are they, what are some of the more extreme examples of people just had a super low volume of revenue from the email, and what were they able to do with this kind of strategy?
Yeah. So, I mean, some mistakes I see like people making in terms of like mailing from their actual brand is either, like I said, not mailing enough, or like some people are like, oh, well, I only have one offer or product, right? I can't keep hitting them with the same offer to my list. And like what I would tell you is, hey, you have this audience, they trust you, they've bought from you before. Create other offers and products that you can sell to them. Meaning like it's pretty easy to create a simple sales page, right? You can use ship offers to, do fulfillment and kind of on demand. So in terms of your existing list, like I've seen crazy success with some of the big offer owners that they'll create smaller offers just to send to their email list, right? So that's a really easy way to just make money off your current list, to get you to that kind of 40%. The strategy that we do, I guess your revenue becomes way more than 40% for email, because what we do, it's 100% coming from email, right? But yeah, in terms of your main list, there's like so many different things you can do, from like sending more often to creating little offers, simple sales pages that you can push to them. And like, you'll be surprised of how much money you can make doing that. Yeah. Does that answer
Yeah, no,
your question?
that's super interesting. I'm curious, how do you know what offers to, let's say, to create next for your
Yeah.
list, or primary list or secondary list?
Yeah. That's a super great question. So for the secondary list, even though I'll generally know, okay, if it's a diabetes list, like they have diabetes, they're probably older. What I do is the last email of my welcome series, I actually send them a survey. And so I use the kind of framing of, hey, Ian, like I really want to make sure that, once I start sending you, email newsletters, that I'm sending you stuff that's really customized to whatever problems you face, whatever interests you have and stuff like that. And so at the time, I use even simple Survey Monkey surveys. I said, hey, male or female, what's your age, right? What other problems do you have? Basically, what other products interest you? And so from there, I was able to realize like, oh, wow, this diabetes list, 70% of them are male. They're almost all 65 plus. A lot of them have hair loss issues. A lot of them have ED issues, right? And so honestly, a simple survey like that, whether it's for your internal list or if it's for the secondary list, it's so telling in terms of outside of that niche or product that they bought, like what other issues they have, or like, what other stuff is interesting to them. Like, and like outside of just health, I might say like, are you interested in, I don't know, business investment offers, right? Are you looking for ways to make more money? And then from there, it's like, oh, there's all these financial offers I can send. So yeah, like that survey was probably as simple as it sounds. It was like a breakthrough for us, because then when we start to send affiliate offers, or if we're going to create offers, we're like, okay, I mean, everyone on this list has a vision issue, right? Or they want to lose weight, or most of them are female, so maybe skincare is going to kill it on this list. So yeah, that was huge for us.
That's crazy. And then what kind of personalization do you do on the affiliate swipe emails typically? Or do you just like plug them in, make sure your link is tracking, and then blast it?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, like we use first name as much as possible, both in the subject line and at the start of the emails. We'll obviously try and like segment as much as possible. So generally we'll segment based off just engagement, like past openers, past clickers, but for sure you can segment based off like, male or female and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Otherwise, I guess a big tip, because you mentioned like plugging in the creatives, is you don't want to use the exact creative that an affiliate manager provides you or that you can find on an affiliate support page. I'm sure maybe you've heard of like creatives being fingerprinted.
Yeah.
And so basically, even if I'm going to send this offer the first time to my list, there's probably 100 other affiliates doing email that have sent that exact creative. And maybe people complained about that creative or offer on their list. And so these different ISPs like Gmail, Yahoo, they keep track of that. They have tools, right? They're a lot smarter than, we already know they're smart, but they're smarter than we think. And so if you use that exact creative, even if it's the first time you send to your list, if people have complained about it before, they have kind of a record of that, and your email will go to spam.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, just always make sure that you're changing up the first send of that creative. And then B, it's just, I'm always writing variations of creatives that I get. Either because the offer did really well and I just want to send it again. And I always want to make sure we're having different creatives. B, you can have an offer kill it, but maybe a creative that got you to click didn't get me to click, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if I see, wow, this offer has a crazy conversion, crazy EPC, well, I'm going to try completely new variations of creatives because not everyone gets engaged by the same content. So it's kind of a mix of that and taking proven creatives and making small different changes. And then, yeah, you can personalize it quite well. Like, I might have the start of the email being like a qualifier or a call out, like, hey, are you a male over 65 suffering from vision issues? And because I know that from the survey, I might start with that. And, a light bulb might go off. Yeah, I'm a male. I'm over 60. I have a vision issue. Let me read more, right? So outside of that and first name, yeah, not a ton more personalization. And in terms of creatives, yeah, just always be writing variations, always be changing it up based off your list. Yeah, it's super important.
Got it. What would you say in terms of on the technical side for getting emails in the inbox, not going to spam or to promotions? What are some things that people should pay attention to now?
Yeah, for sure. So, technically wise, there's a lot of technical stuff you can do. There's things like SPF, DKIM, image size. Like there's all these tech stuff that I let my tech team do it because it's just more advanced for me. But a few best practices is always segment based off engagement. So of course, every now and then you can send to the full list or do a big list send, but like 90% of the time send to a tighter segment, whether for you that's 14-day openers, 30-day openers, 90-day clickers. Basically try and get at least 20% or higher opens. That's kind of the most important thing. Second is in terms of the email content, there's a lot of words that you can't use. Some obvious ones like sex or ED or Viagra. It's like Viagra can't even send emails, right, with Viagra in the email body.
Wow.
So there's different words that you should know not to use. There's also apps that help you. So there's an app called Block App, and it'll help you see if the email will go to the inbox, which copy maybe you should take out. Another simple strategy is create your own Gmail email, send a test campaign. If it goes to the promo tab, make a variation and keep sending it until, okay, it went to my inbox. And then that email is probably safe to use. And probably a last big tip is you want to use an email service provider that has data by ISP. ISP, for people who don't know, it's internet service provider like Gmail, Yahoo, Verizon. And so why it's so important is if I told you, hey, Ian, I sent an email campaign yesterday, total open rate was 25%. You would probably say, that's pretty decent, right? But I might look at the data by ISP and look at open rates by ISP, and I might see, Hotmail had 30%, Yahoo had 28%, AOL had 27%, but Gmail had 12%. So actually, I'm not inboxing very well for Gmail. And so if I can make a small change there, I could have a huge increase in my revenue, right? But some people are lazy and they don't look at that data and they just think, everything is good. Whereas you have so much lost money there. For the most part, it's setting things up technically from the start, like DKIM, SPF, all that stuff. And then it's just make sure you're pretty tight on like your segments, and you're sending to people that actually open and click your emails.
Interesting.
There's this,
Mhm.
yeah, sorry to interrupt.
No,
There's
please,
like little
please.
tricks as well, like getting people to reply is like a really good signal to like service providers. And so you can get pretty like creative there, and like maybe like you create a free ebook in one of your welcome series, but say, hey, if you want it, reply to the email, and then you can send up an automatic autoresponder kind of thing. But yeah, like replies help as well, and just any good engagement like Gmail and like Yahoo, like that's what they want to see. And last kind of, it sounds counterintuitive, well, not counterintuitive, but it sounds kind of surprising, but like the more simple the email, the better, right? So before I came to the industry, like whenever I worked with companies, we always made sure the email had a big flashy banner, a nice CTA button and stuff like that. But think about it, Gmail is going to see that and they're going to say, oh, this is probably a brand mailing. This is probably a promotional email. I'm going to put that in the promo tab. Whereas in our industry, and I was shocked when I saw this, a lot of the affiliate emails, it's just text. Even the like tracking link to click is just hyperlink text. And so generally, like the more simple the email, if it's just text based, the better it'll do. So that's probably like a big tip that most people, it's like a head scratcher.
That's super cool. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing all that. Do you have any for people who want to try DIY all this? What kind of ESPs do you recommend? Any ones in particular?
That's a really great question, because like if you choose the wrong ESP, all of this might fail. Maripost is definitely my number one. Um, like super easy service to use. They have the data by ISP. Like in terms of split testing, it's super easy. They're affiliate friendly. So yeah, Maripost would definitely be the number one. And if I gave you a number one don't, it would be something like Klaviyo. Klaviyo like has a great reputation. It's great for e-commerce, but if they see one affiliate link, they'll ban you tomorrow.
Wow.
Um, yeah, and so yeah, I would definitely go with Maripost. I know there's a couple others that are decent. Like Entreport is pretty good. SendLane was pretty good, but they've become a little bit more strict with like the affiliate direct response industry. There's a couple others, but I would say like Maripost is definitely the best. Not the cheapest. Generally, you have to sign an annual contract, which scares people, but they have like amazing deliverability support. Like you kind of pay for what you get. So yeah, I would say Maripost is the top, and then yeah, probably Entreport is like a one that I know a lot of people have a lot of success with.
Nice. Very cool. And then what kind of offers what type of affiliate offers are you typically sending to the list? Like what you mentioned diabetes, so like supplement stuff, but apart from supplement offers, like what other, just to try to get people to think outside the box, what are the options? Like what industry is not a good fit for this kind of approach? What kind of offers, I should say, given that? Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like my bread and butter is like health and wellness, or Nutra, however you want to call it. So supplements. I decided to really hone in on one specific niche, but for sure you can do this for like financial offers, biz dev offers, crypto offers, stuff like that. I think that would work really well there. I think you can also do this like self-development offers, relationship offers. Yeah, I mean, there's so many niches out there that I think you can do this. Like just on Digistore, we have 44 different types of niches and verticals of offers. So I think it could work well for all those that I mentioned. And just like when you're selecting offers, like start with what's proven. So like Digistore has a popularity feature on our marketplace. ClickBank has gravity, right? So you can see what's working well for other affiliates right now. As you know, in our industry, everyone loves to help each other. So go in a Facebook industry group and say, hey, I'm doing email in the diabetes niche, like what offers are working well for you guys? And like even the biggest list managers will tell you, like just like everyone loves to help each other. And then like regardless of the offer, I would just say like look at the metrics, look at the stats. Like does it have a good conversion rate? Does it have a good earnings per click, EPC? Does it have a good AOV, a high commission rate, right? So look at all those metrics, because like that'll help you like put you on a path to success if the offer has a high AOV, a high commission rate, good EPC, stuff like that.
Very cool. Very cool. And then in terms of the blog, I mean, what's your approach for creating content for the blog? How do you approach that?
Yeah, for sure. So I use WordPress in terms of creating the blog because it's so simple to use. I have my tech team like have faster load times and stuff, but I essentially created a template on WordPress and now I use for every blog and just, plug and play. I used to use a really cheap agency in Ukraine, but now you could probably use AI to write most of the blog articles and Shutterstock for the images. But basically, what I'll do is I'll cover different categories of the blog based off what the person's purchasing. So if it's diabetes, probably the main category will be diabetes. But I know that, most people also have weight issues. So I'll have weight loss as a category, maybe general health, so that I can have all different types of topics. So I would generally just say like, understand what problems and interests those people have. And then from there, just make sure that you create like a few different categories that really like hone in on, what they would be interested in. And then after that, like, I'm sure like me, like you love to split test. So I'm always testing and looking at Google Analytics and seeing like what articles get the most page views and things like that. And then from there, you can alter your strategy and do more of a certain type of article or stuff like that.
Nice. Do you ever see any of these blogs start to rank and get organic traffic?
So in terms of like our strategy, it's a really great question. Not that much, just because it's mostly like shorter form engagement articles. But I come from the world of SEO, and at Digistore, SEO is a big focus. And so, yeah, I love that world. We didn't really rank just because our articles were pretty short, 300, 500 words, whereas you normally need 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 plus words. But it's a really interesting topic. I would love to like, not maybe on this episode, but I would love to dive into like SEO and affiliate marketing, because at least in our tight-knit group, you don't really hear about it a lot. And I feel like it's like a really fruitful like activity. Like if you're really good at SEO, whether it's this space or if it's like, I know it's huge because of my experience in the gambling space. Like if you could rank on SEO and then push affiliate offers to those articles, like it's pretty much a set it and forget it business. So yeah, I think it's something that's like overlooked, I think, in our industry a bit, is SEO and like using it as an affiliate.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Yeah, so we got the second email paired with the blog, second email list, new brand. Excuse me. Second email list paired with the new blog, new brand, and just pumping out offers to that list. And you're once you do that sort of warm up sequence, you're sending offers every day, basically.
Yeah, so I'm sending every day. Eventually, there's some lists where we do 2 sends a day.
Wow.
We do like morning, like usually 8 a.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm always using different segments. So like it might be like the evening send is like a tighter segment. So let's say I do 30-day openers in the morning. I'll do 14-day openers at night. It's pretty crazy, but at one point in COVID, we were sending 3 emails a day to some lists, like more our internal list, where we had a noon send and we sent that to like 7-day openers. Like this is people that want to receive our emails. Like those emails got like 30% open rate. It had a whole new like revenue bump for us. So I would say at least send daily, 2 or 3 times per day. Maybe like it's not a good match for your list. But like I was like saying, like Lululemon, what I'm sure you're familiar, is a super big brand. I get emails from them every day, right? I might not open every one, but there's certain emails that might catch my eye, or I might see a subject line that, I don't know, piques my curiosity. And so I would say, yeah, send at least every day, because a lot of these buyers are on other lists in our industry. And so if you're not selling to them, someone else will. So
that's super interesting. That's a big takeaway. People get so precious about that. Like, oh, I don't want to. Well, is there something to worry about, burning out a list? Do you see it happening?
As long as you have like new buyers being added daily, it's pretty hard to do that. The way I see people burn out lists is like they have a short-term vision. And so like they might just be spamming the list with super aggressive offers and stuff like that.
Wow.
Whereas for me, like, although I want to make my clients as much money in month 1, month 2, month 3 as possible, I'm really like a long-term game. I have lists that we signed 5 years ago that we're making more money month over month. So like I kind of have that long-term vision of do email marketing right, have a good warm-up process, go slow at the start. And it's crazy, but even like a list that isn't getting new buyers every day, like that list will last you many years as long as you're, following best practices and doing things properly, doing things right.
So you're still sending blog content to your second list?
Yeah, we do a mix. So like there's some days where it's just an affiliate swipe, that's it. There's some days where I do a mix. So either it's like the affiliate creative at the top, and then below I have like a couple blog articles, like article blocks.
Mm-hmm.
There's times where I'll give him credit, like Mike Geary, they kind of started the strategy of like subject line is super engaging, more relates to a blog article. You have the blog article link at the top of the email, then you have the affiliate creative below. So it's kind of a mix like that. If I see my like reputation or inboxing is going a little bit down, I might send just content emails for a couple of days to a tight segment. The less links, the better. So there's times where that happens where I won't even have a link. Yeah, so it's pretty much a mix of blog content and affiliate offers.
So what's a good inboxing metric and what's a bad inboxing metric?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, it's hard to know like a percentage of like inboxing, like, oh, like 80% went. There's some expensive tools out there, and sometimes like head of deliverability at ESPs can tell you that. For me, I'm just looking at engagement. So I'm looking at open rate and making sure open rate's super high.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it comparatively to one ISP versus the other because they should all have a very similar open rate because it's the same content. But in my example before, like let's say Gmail's half of Yahoo. I mean, it's kind of logical. Like I'm not inboxing well for Gmail, right? So that's kind of how I look at it. You can also look at your like sender like reputation, and like Gmail, they have like high, medium, low, things like that. But it's pretty hard to pinpoint specifically like how many emails or what percent or what percentage are going to the inbox.
And then what about reputation?
Yeah, so generally I'll work with like we have a really big Maripulse account, so they'll be able to say, hey, your reputation score is high, medium, low. So it's the same kind of thing of like it's hard to know exactly, but they can usually help you. And otherwise, I'll look at open rates. Like if I'm getting a 40% open rate, it's probably pretty high. Whereas if it's 10%, it's probably pretty low. And yeah, like one of the biggest tips I'll say from the welcome series is like get good engagement from the start, get in Gmail's good books from the start, because if you start things off poorly, it's pretty hard to just like reverse that. So yeah.
Interesting. That's super cool. So, yeah, I mean, so many just tactics and strategies you shared today. My head's kind of spinning, honestly.
Yeah.
So many opportunities. So anyone who has a list or is growing a list, this is gold, honestly. Like you're leaving money on the table if you're not doing the stuff that Pal's talking about.
A lot of money. It's all profit. Like even if like you do it yourself, outside of the cost of the email service, like there's not really many costs. So definitely like I'm like out of breath and going on a tangent on so many different details because there is like, although the strategy is simple, like there is so many little details. So I would say you could do it yourself, and hopefully like I gave a lot of great tips, but like anything, like I definitely recommend outsourcing this, doing a rev share split, whether it's with me or those other good list managers who specialize in this. And yeah, it's essentially all profit. I have some clients who would do like, let's say 150K a month, right? Generally split that in half or kind of 60-40. And that's a lot of money every month where like there's no work on their end. Like I'm doing everything. I send them updates throughout the month and then, hey, here's your check kind of thing. Or like, here's your wire payment.
That's amazing. So where can people go to say they want to move forward with you, Kyle, and you know, let you take the controls on their email list and start printing cash, sending them checks? Where can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, probably the best ways is Skype. My Skype ID, it should be Kyle Dana. So KYLEDANA. You can email me. It's kyle.dana@digistore24.com. And I know I'm going to confuse people with my name. So my real name is Kyle Dana, but on Facebook, I use Kyle Alexander. Alexander is my middle name. So you could go on Facebook, search Kyle Alexander. I'm pretty much checking Facebook, Skype, and email like every second of the day. I'm sort of like a robot in that, and I'm always checking notifications and stuff. So yeah, either one of those three, hit me up and I'll get back to you quickly.
Awesome, Kyle. Thank you so much for sharing all this. Highly recommend people have a chat with you. And you're going to be in Affiliate World in Vegas and Dubai. And where else can people come and talk to you in person?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I'm usually traveling a bunch. So yeah, as of this Sunday, I'll be at Affiliate Summit West in Vegas. I might be at Affiliate World in Dubai, which is March 1st and 2nd. And then after that, I'll be at probably the core events this year, like Affiliate Summit East in New York, Affiliate World Europe in Barcelona, maybe DMI Expo in Israel. So most of the big events, yeah, I'll be there with the Digistore 24 team. And so, yeah, feel free to pull me aside and grab, coffee or drink or whatever. And like, even if like you don't want to use me, I'm more than happy to just give some free tips and, give value, because I'm sure there's always a way where someone's going to return the favor. So
Absolutely. Absolutely, Kyle. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. And looking forward to seeing you in person in one of these upcoming events.
yeah, for sure. Cool.
Awesome.
Sounds good. Yeah. Thanks for having me. And yeah, we'll definitely see you at a future event soon. Cheers.
Awesome, Kyle. Thanks so much. Have a great rest of your day.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for this episode of VidTao Podcast. Again, my name is Ian Nagy, co-founder of VidTao, and really appreciate you having a listen. And it means a lot. So if you have any feedback, go ahead and email us at info@vidtao.com. Love to hear your ideas for future shows, future guests. If you want to be a guest, let us know. Love to chat. Also, just as a reminder, this show has been sponsored by VidTao, which is our free YouTube ad library. VidTao.com. Again, you can go to VidTao and look up over 1 million ads at this point inside of VidTao. They're all unlisted YouTube ads. You can see what your competitors are running, track the results on a day-by-day basis, find new ads inside of our YouTube ad library, VidTao. And we also have a premium edition of VidTao. So the library is free to access, but for full unlimited access to the library, we have a premium edition of VidTao. We also have training from our Inceptly.com agency, which is our sister company to VidTao, where we've managed over $150 million on YouTube. We provide training on media buying, creatives, tracking, copywriting, everything in between. It's all there inside of VidTao Premium. And right now we're running a very special deal on VidTao Premium. And you can go claim that right now at vidtao.com. When you sign up for free, you'll see the offer to join Premium, and go there and check that out. And last thing, we also do free brainstorm calls with our agency Inceptly. Go to inceptly.com/call. And we love brainstorming with you on your video advertising and just marketing in general. Love to chat. So inceptly.com/call, CALL. Would love to speak with you. So thanks again for joining us, and looking forward to the next show. In the meantime, have a great week.